welcome to the Sporting Life Timeform weekend preview. David Ord joined by Matt Brocklebank and Kieran Clark to look ahead to a fantastic, almost a super Saturday, a bit of something for everyone this Saturday. We're going to start with the Coral Scottish Grand National at Ayr, always one of the more competitive handicap chases of the season. Matt, a good starting point is going to be the Timeform ratings graphic for this. As you can see, we've got Monbeg Genius top, Kitty's Light second, Famous Bridge third up. It's a race that, I mean, £3 or £4 between the top 6 or 7 there. This is competitive.
Very much so, really, really tight, isn't it? And what you've got in there thrown in the mix with the likes of Famous Bridge and Your Own Story, who just creeps onto the bottom there, 162, are progressive, unexposed novices, and that just seems to be the thing all along, really, with these big handicaps in the springtime. You're looking for those lightly raced horses as well, but obviously we've got Kitty's Light, who's been here and done it before, hasn't he? Been a fantastic horse. Amazing. He's only 7 years old, a proper project horse for Christian Williams.
He's been around forever, hasn't he?
Yeah, it seems that way. He came up just short last year behind the stablemate, but seems to be well handicapped. Yeah,
interesting. Kitty's Light now the main market rival. I think he's going to start favourite the way momentum is. We're recording this Friday afternoon. Monbeg Genius. Kim, we've got video evidence of him, video replay of him in the Ultima at Cheltenham. Let's say this form's been frank since.
Well, yeah, you could say that. Yeah, the winner, obviously, Correct Rambler, went on to land the Grand National last week. And I was lucky enough to be there this day. And I said to a few of my colleagues who were there after the race, I said, he screams Scottish National, Monbeg Genius. He's a real strong stayer. You see him there on the... Is that him on the rail?
Far right.
Yeah. Correct Rambler comes between him and the Goffer to come and nab them late on. But he's a really progressive novice. He's £5 higher than when he was third in this. But he's 3 from 5 over fences. He took his form to up another notch last time, and this is probably the strongest piece of handicap form we've seen for the majority of the season, and he's definitely going to stay. I've got no problems about that, and he likes to be ridden positively, which we'll touch on later. And the fences at Ayr, I'll just touch on that as well. I've reported from there quite a lot this season. They really don't take a lot of jumping. One of my colleagues actually said they remind him of a brush, so there you go.
I think it was very significant how strong he was in the market for that Ultima. They were clearly expecting him to run as he did. Matt, the big yards represented, Paul Nicholls with Flash Collage, unexposed profile over fences at least.
Yeah, he's definitely high on my shortlist as well, Dave, I must say, because, the starting point being Nicholls has obviously won the race 3 times in the past. He has got a couple in here, including 3 under through 5, we saw just at the back there, finishing just behind those principals in the Ultima. Flash Collage, a little bit of pedigree there. His dam is a half to Neptune Collage, so old Uncle Neptune clearly puts a bit of stamina into the situation. I think he's another one likely to be prominent, isn't he? Yeah. There's not a huge amount of pace, and with such a big field around a sharp track, I think a good early pitch is going to be key. Drying ground is a major plus for this horse. He promises to stay these extreme distances, like I said, and he is well handicapped. Look, he's up £4. He got a confidence boosting win, I thought, last time at Newbury. He's only gone up £4 to 134. If you go back to his hurdle days, he was actually had a good strike rate, 3 from 5 over hurdles, and he was rated 145 at the peak of that. Obviously, fairly big things were expected last season as a novice. It didn't happen for him, but look, he was thrown into a grade 2 against Ahoy Senior on his chasing debut. You know, that's kind of the regard in which he was held. So he's kind of stumbled upon a nice mark in over fences. And I think the important thing as well is that Nicholls probably could have run him over 3 miles, could have run him even in one of the graded novice races at the meeting. But quite significant that he throws him in here into the Scottish National. I really like him. He's about 16 to 1.
He knows how to win this race as well, Nicholls, hasn't he? He's done it in the past.
He has, yeah, 3 times. You're going way back. McCoy rode the winner first time. I can't remember. It's a long time ago now. Dave, maybe one for you.
I'd certainly remember. I can remember Red Rum winning it. Kieran Clark, man of the people. I'm not saying
that. You've stole my pun there, Dave, because I was going to refer to you in that. But I think he's got
accurate.
I saw the graphic there. Skybet paying first 7 instead of first 4, and I think this is a horse with a terrific each-way chance. He's got a really nice racing weight off 10 stone 4. He's only ran 3 times over fences. He won his first 2 on good ground. Just found the soft ground a little bit hard work last time. He has won on soft, but he was really well in when he did over hurdles. And Fergal O'Brien's in cracking form. He had a brilliant entry. He's off the same mark as last time. He's a progressive novice, and like I say, he's going to get a positive ride as well.
Huge gangly horse. I can't quite make my mind up whether he's actually going to really like leap round here and just put them to the sword with his jumping, or he's just going to get caught under his feet and just be a bit too much for him too soon. Yeah,
no, I understand what you're saying. He's run on big galloping tracks, and there's a little bit tighter than Chepstow and Newbury, where he's run previously. I just thought he was overpriced.
Lovely prospect, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Now, big weekend last weekend, obviously, for Lucinda Russell. Got your own story going in this, Matt. We've got video footage of this one. This has been very strong in the market, the anti-post market, here in action at Haydock.
Yeah, this is him on the near side. Prior to this, he'd actually bumped into that Stumptown at Sandown, who was very well handicapped, and then he won nicely. I think that was at Wetherby over an extreme test, 3 miles, 7 furlongs. This race here represented a slight drop back in distance, and if you look at it here, the winner just kind of quickened away from him, which sounds remarkable up this big long straight at Haydock, and all the way from that last fence, he is gaining on this horse. He very much promises to stay 4 miles. He's another young horse. He's only 7. And whatever happens this weekend, he is short on experience. He's quite lightly raced. Whatever happens this weekend, I think he's going to be like a real force in the staying distance. I mean, roll on 12 months. Could he be their Aintree horse? I wouldn't be shocked at all. He's gone up £3 for the run there. He's actually a pound out of the handicap this weekend, so he's effectively, running off a £4 higher mark. So he does have to improve again, but yeah, like I say, he's definitely open to that sort of further progress.
Selection time, Scottish National, Kieran?
Monmouth Genius, I think he'll win it, but yeah, Man of the People each way, first 7 with Sky Bet as well.
I'm with Flash Collage. I think Harry Cobden's riding out of his skin still, and he's going to give this horse a good ride from the front.
It's time to flip to the flat now and try saying that on a Friday afternoon. We've got the Greenham Stakes at Newbury. That's a big 2,000 guineas trial, Kipco 2,000 guineas trial for the Colts. Let's get the time for ratings on screen. Clean. I'm going to pronounce this horse wrong because this has been the debate all week I've seen, but Chaldine at the top, Kieran, sets a very good standard for Greenham.
I'm glad you pronounced it like that, Dave, because that's what I've always called him. Yeah, he does. You see there, he's £10 clear on ratings, and he's a horse that just took his form to a new level every time he ran last season. Obviously, he beat the Craven winner twice. He beat him in the Acomb at York, then he beat him in the Champagne Stakes at Doncaster, and then he came out and won the Dewhurst on his final start. I think we've got video footage of that.
Yeah, we've got the video of this Dewhurst winner. You think of the Dewhurst as being the race that crowns the champion 2-year-olds. Is that where he was sort of sitting towards a pecking order in the autumn?
Yeah, so you look at the Dewhurst and you thought there was no little, what was his name? Little Big Bear, Little Brown Bear, something like that, wasn't it? The one who played up at the start. There was no him and there was no Sakia, but I still think this form looks quite strong. Both Naval Power and Aesop's Fables are the only two to have run since, and they both took their form to another level.
Nostrum's a nice horse as well, the third.
Yeah, sadly he's picked up an injury, hasn't he? So he'll miss the Guineas, but he'll definitely train on. He's quite a strong colt, so I've got no worries about that, and he's an unpenalised. He'll definitely stay the mile. He's got form. I know this is 7, but he's definitely got form on good to soft ground as well. The only thing is his price. Is he going to be cherry ripe? He got beat on his debut last year. I just wonder, are they going to have him 100% with the Guineas in mind, or are they just going to leave a little bit off and something might come and progress up to him rather than him progress again? So at the prices, I'd take him on, but he's definitely the one they all have to beat anyway.
Well, there's lots of colts in there with potential. Knight towards the top of the list. We've got him in winning action at Newbury as our latest video. What do you make of him as a prospect?
He's a nice prospect, again, for training combination. Simon and Ed Crisford, who are making waves, considerable waves out of Newmarket. If you see here, it doesn't get the perfect run through. Look, just gets a little bump from the Clive Cox horse on the right, but shows good attitude to come between the gap and really puts it to bed. What you would say from this video, look at his knee action. He really does hit the ground quite hard. Soft ground this weekend. He's going to be in his favour. I wonder if they'd probably preferred, a few heavy showers as well to maybe slow down some of these slightly nippier types. Not saying Charlie is nippy, but I do think this horse is a proper soft ground horse. He's a nice prospect. I don't personally think he'll be quite up to this. We're not talking about a 20-1 shot. I think he's about 8 or 9-1. So I'm happy to leave him alone for this weekend.
He still looked a bit green there, Matt, I thought.
Yeah, he did. Again, he's another one. He could well be ready for this, couldn't he? I think they're not missing a beat. The Crisfords. They've almost won the Dubai World Cup. They've very nearly won the Lincoln. I do think it's going to be a big year for the Crisfords. This could be their big hope. But personally, I think he's priced about right.
Yep.
Yeah, the dogs are barking about the Christopher 3-year-olds, are particularly strong by all accounts, according to the Newmarket Gallup Watchers. Kieran, theory of everything, trained in Newmarket and got the big Timeform P next to his number as well.
Yeah, I did a Timeform report for this at Doncaster. Now, we couldn't rate the bear form any higher because the third was quite exposed, but visually he couldn't have been more impressive, to be honest. He slightly missed the break, but he went from the back of the field, in contention within about half a furlong, and as soon as he hit the front, Rob Havlin just asked him to go under hands and heels. Now, he's got loads to find at the weights. He's got £26 to find with Chaldean, but he does have that large P.
He's fit as well, isn't he? Race fit.
Yeah, I'll mention his pedigree as well. He's by Frankel out of Persuasive, obviously Group 1 winner, and she is a half to Creative Force as well. So his pedigree's full of blue blood, and he's in the right hands, isn't he? It's interesting Godson's ran him so quickly, because I always think with Godson, he tries not to, might have been harsh, but he always seems to think if he's got a good prospect, he won't rush them, whereas this one's only won 3 weeks ago, so he's maybe thought, we'll run him here and see exactly where we sit with him and see where we go. He's entered in a Dante as well, so stay a bit further, but I thought about 12 to 1, he's maybe worth an each way bet.
Tip for the Greenham, Matt?
Yeah, it's a no bet race, to be perfectly honest. If you force me into a selection, I might recommend having a few shillings on the Betfair Exchange on Classic, because he's going to be a huge price. He's just one of those horses. He actually gave the Foxes a bit of a race in a Glorious Goodwood Maiden
Probably
last
should
summer.
have beat him that day.
Yeah, he should. He is a nice horse. He's a Dubawi, late maturing type. And Richard Hannon, we've seen him pop up with trial winners in the past, including this week.
Kevin, Greenham tip?
Yeah, theory of everything each way. I think he's worth a go at 12s, just in case Chaldean isn't ready on the day.
We've also got the artist, formerly known as the Fred Darling, trial for the fillies. Give us a filly to watch in that, Matt.
Definitely one to watch would be Bridestones. Gosden, Godolphin. Now, she's interesting because she won one of those traditionally fairly warm novice races at Yarmouth over a mile towards the back end of the season. And I was expecting her to rock up in like a Pretty Polly or a Genuine Oaks trial, and she is in the Oaks, she's in the Guineas as well, so this is a very interesting entry, dropping to 7 furlongs, so she must have been showing a bit of speed, mustn't she? She's about 4 to 1, you know, I'm not going to be recommending her as a tip, but she's definitely a horse to watch. Maybe this is a prep towards something like the Pretty Polly, and we'll see her on Guineas weekend at Newmarket.
We're down to selection time now. It's your weekend best bet that I want, and I think it's going to be a Saturday best bet. I don't want to preempt anything. And Kieran, I'm getting the word Thirsk. Where's yours?
Yeah, I mean, we've covered some top class action there. Mine comes in a 0 to 60, 20 runner sprint handicap, so there really is something for everyone. Yeah, there's a horse called Top Time, trained by Roy Bowring, who actually won this race last year from the same mark. He ran over an adequate trip of 5 furlongs last time, shaped as if needing the run. He just looks teed up to this. Soft ground suits him really well. They've enlisted the booking of Ben Curtis as well, as taken over from Lewis Edmonds. He's drawn 1, but he overcame a draw of 3 last year. I don't know what price he is because there isn't any out at the time of recording, but hopefully people might have missed it and we can get a double figure price. So he's probably going to open up favourite, isn't he, now when this goes up.
We're pressing Control F5 on Odd Checker as soon as we get back to our desk. Matt, from a 0 to 60 at Thirsk to...
Well, I've got a strong fancy in the Scottish Champion Hurdle, Dave, but I'm going to keep that for value bet, which is going to be on Sport and Life. And for my best bet here, I'm going with the 315 at Newbury, sticking to the flat. The Spring Cup, the Lincoln form's working out exceptionally well. I'm fully aware that William Haggas has got a potential group horse here in Latham who won the Irish Lincolnshire, but the Doncaster race is working out brilliantly. I think it's form to follow. Now, Revich is a big price here. He's 16 to 1. Second time out has always been a good time for Revich. He was just chinned last year at Chester's May meeting on his second start of the season. He ran well in this race as well 2 years ago. He's back on his last win in March 92. Jim Crowley's booked, loves a bit of soft ground, and I think just having a few hairs on the chest is never a bad thing in a race like this. We've seen Chatters and horses like that, experienced horses win this over the race. So Revich, each way 16 to 1 is the bet of the weekend.
Just quickly, you mentioned Chester. He's got a very, very good record at that track.
We're on about Newbury.
Yeah, so I'm going to say whatever happens tomorrow, I think you can still follow him next time as well.
Good. Well, Taylor will win on Saturday as well. That's why Matt's put him up. That's the positive message we're going to end our weekend preview with. Thank you for watching and the best of luck with your own Saturday wagers.